Good morning, everyone. Today we are having a virtual education exchange program between Japan and Rwanda universities. And these universities are Josai International University and the University of Rwanda. I hope that today will be very enjoyable and enjoyable day between the Rwandan and the counterpart student from Japan who are going to present on different topics. So today we will be presenting on nutrition, sanitation and water in Rwanda. So who am going to present, I am Abel Mirwa. I'm a registered midwife and I'm a midwifery student as well. So I'm a student in the midwifery department, University of Rwanda, in a bachelor's degree in midwifery upgrading program. So I'm mentored by Michael, who is my mentor. Nutrition, water, and sanitation is the topic of today. So I hope that each and everyone's attention will be of the value such that we can share ideas and different aspects and facts about nutrition, water, and sanitation in different parts of the country. First of all, I will start by having an overview or definitions of nutrition. So nutrition is always defined different ways, either generally or scientifically. Firstly, nutrition is the branch of science that deals with nutrients, particularly in humans. Or generally, nutrition is the process of providing or obtaining the food necessary for health and growth. In Rwanda, the cuisine of Rwanda is based on local staple foods produced by traditional subsistence level of agriculture and has historically varied across different areas. So even though Rwanda has similar culture, but in different parts of the country have some differences which are very slight, like in feeding and even nutrition. I find that in one part, you may find that they are having some taboos on the nutritional components. Continuation, most Rwandans prepare food. Green vegetables and beans are the most common. As you can see, this is a plate of green vegetables, beans, and other foods like Irish potato. Meat is also among the food liked by many Rwandans. Most of the time, meat is prepared with ubugari. The ubugari is the food made from maize or cassava flour. As you can see on this spread, there are meat, there are green vegetables, there are also ugali made from maize, and on the other side there are other ugali made in cassava flour, as I have mentioned it earlier. Meat can also be prepared in different ways. This is brochette, where meat is baked and taken with potatoes. Many Rwandans like this kind of meat. You find that in the evening, men can gather at different bars, restaurants while taking this kind of meat, and very delicious. So they are taken with different beverages as they will be identified in the next presentations. Rwandan staples include bananas, plains, pulses, sweet potatoes, beans, and cassava. Many Rwandans eat a lot of meat nowadays. For those that live near lakes and have access to fish, tilapia is popular. As you can see the plate of half tilapia and even the cassava and beans on the green plate. Not only the cassava roots that are taken as food in Rwanda, but also their leaves are mashed and eaten with other foods. So this mashed sauce of cassava leaves is called isombe. So as you can see in this bread, there are the soup or a source of isombe, which is actually rich in different nutrients that are taken by men and women in Rwanda, and even children are not left behind. In Rwanda, matoke is a dish made from baked or steamed bananas. As you can see, it is indicated on the plate. There are also pumpkins. Pumpkins, they are called ibihaza in our local tongue. So they are cut into pieces, mixed with beans, and boiled without peeling them. Also grown-nuts paste, called ichinyiga in our local language, and millet flour paste, called umutsima w'uburo, are made from boiling water and flour, mixed to a porridge-like consistency. So it's very, very rich in carbohydrates. In the restaurants in the capital Kigali, locals and expatriates eat a variety of international cuisines, including Indian, Chinese, Italian, and African. In other cities and towns, the cuisine is simpler, often consisting of chicken, fish, gut, or steak, served with rice or French fries. Coming on beverages, in Rwanda, beverages are in different categories, but milk is common drink among Rwandans, which serves as a very, very good source of nutrients to combat malnutrition. Other popular drinks in Rwanda include fruit juice, wine, beer, and soda, or simply called Fanta. For those who don't drink alcohol, the Fanta is the key to is the key to the all drinks taken. In Rwanda, commercial beers drunk in Rwanda include Primus, Mitzi, and Amstel. That is mostly in urban areas, but in rural areas, Urwagwa, which is the local beer, is a beer made from the fermented juice of banana and has been mixed with roasted sorghum flour. As you can see in the green, in the green bucket, there is Urwagwa, and in the both rows, it's where they are packed. Beers feature in traditional rituals and ceremonies and are generally consumed only by men. Ikigage is an alcoholic beverage made from dry sorghum that is thought to have medicinal powers. As you can see, that is a boiling a local beer called Ikigage. As we have seen in the above slides, those are the meals, the few but not limited to the all meals taken in Rwanda, and they are healthy. So today, now we are going to see the health and nutrition in Rwanda. Well-balanced and adequate nutrition intake is essential to maintaining positive health status. As discussed above in meals prepared by Rwandans, either nowadays and long ago, they are rich in the dieties needed by the body. But we are going to discuss more about What happens when the health meals are not available? Simply, we're going to talk about lack of adequate nutrition, or simply malnutrition. Malnutrition is lack of adequate nutrients, either as a result of imbalances, deficiencies, or ex- excesses in a person's intake of food and nutrients. This can be due to eating too little, eating an improper diet, or having a medical condition that can result in the body being unable to use food and nutrients. Nationally, 38% of children under 5 are stunted, and 2% suffer from acute malnutrition, i.e., wasting or low weight for height. Prevention of malnutrition in Rwanda. There are different strategies put in place, but the most emphasized are mothers to attend antenatal care visits and postnatal care visits and take iron and folic acid supplementation. Family care practices at health centers or villages during the monthly growth monitoring to check whether the children are growing well. Attend cooking demonstration sessions at village level. To attend health centers and receive free micronutrients powder for the child 6 months up to 2 years. 1 cow per family program under which poor parents would get milk for their children was put in place and even yielded a observable solution to combat malnutrition, coaching parents on how to prepare a decent meal for children as well as how to keep appropriate hygiene for food consumption. Promotion of best practices for adequate nutrition, breastfeeding, complementary feeding, and hand washing. They are best practices put in place. In combating malnutrition in Rwanda, government emphasized on having kitchen gardens at home where vegetables are planted to prevent malnutrition, specifically in children. As you can see, the pictures shows the kitchen garden dug in Rwanda. They are called akarima k'igikoni in our local language. We plant there different kinds of vegetables that help to provide vitamins and different nutrients and minerals to the body. So now, after finishing nutrition, we're coming to the next topic, which is water and sanitation in Rwanda. The Rwandan government prioritized the funding of water supply development in a decade ago, significantly increasing its share of the national budget. This funding, along with donor support, caused a rapid increase in access to water supply, like using boreholes in rural areas. So as you can see in the picture, it's a picture of different children using a borehole that is fixed down underground that pulls safe water within underground. So in 2015, 74% of the population had access to safe water, up to about 55% in 2005. The government has committed to increasing this to 100% by 2017. The country's water infrastructure consists of urban and rural systems that deliver water to the public mainly through standpipes in rural areas and private connections in the urban areas. So you can see this is the graph that shows how water supply kept on increasing year by year. In areas not served by these systems, hand pumps and managed springs are used. Despite rainfall exceeding 750 millimeters annually in most of the country parts, little use made of rainwater harvesting, and residents are encouraged to use water very sparingly relative to usage in other African countries. For the case of sanitation, hygiene and sanitation in Rwanda currently remains the core value. The healthy in Rwandans. But anciently, the sanitation was very poor according to UN report in 2006. The United Nations estimates that in 2006, 34% of urban and 20% of rural dwellers had access to improved sanitation. So, in order to enforce sanitation and water supply measurements, there are actions agreed to tackle these problems. So in rural sanitation and water supply strategies were put. Encourage donors to join harmonized procedures and to pool funding for rural water supply. Publish a national inventory for rural water supply, including access rates and strategic ratios. Develop technical assistance support for private operators of rural schemes. Closely monitor operations and manage performance by Rwanda water supply operators to ensure long-term sustainability of water services. Urban sanitation and water supply. Undertaking reform and revise tariff to improve operational performance and ensure financial viability of urban water services. Update water supply master plan for Kigali, taking into account urban growth and projected settlement patterns. So the other strategies taken are promote investment in urban water supply to expand production capacity and expand and rationalize distribution network. Develop proper programs to serve low-income households. So as I'm driving the last nail into the coffin, finally, in improving hygiene and sanitation, the government emphasizes to make materials that can help them to wash their hands to prevent poor hygiene diseases born. And these materials are called kandagirukarari. So as you can see in the picture, they are local made materials where you step your feet and the water starts to fall and you wash your hands with clean water and soap. So sanitation is the key to success in our life. If we have access to safe water and hygienic procedures, though no waterborne disease, all those diseases come from poor hygiene that can attack young children and even the older people in our community. So, so the listed are the references of my presentation. For more readings, you can refer to them. All, I'd like to thank you all for your kind attention and your time to following my presentation. Bye bye. My name is Abel.